Here it is. We're counting down the seconds. There's 22 seconds left. 20 seconds. 18, 16, 14, 13.
I'm not gonna cry.
Hey, 9, 8.
You know everybody hears you,
6,
right?
4, 3. Hey.
All right.
Hey. We're like a DJ.
Hey. Good morning. Or good
morning,
afternoon.
everybody. Oh my God, finally a good day. A nice sunny day this week.
I know, right? I heard today is going up to 70 degrees, and I'm just
Love
like,
it.
Allegedly.
It's about
Love
time,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Come
I'll
on.
take it all, though.
Soon we'll be in the beach.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
All
How you
right.
doing, guys? How's your week? Talk to me. How's
was
everybody
good.
doing?
It was
Good,
actually
man. We locked in
pretty
another
good.
listing. We got another offer accepted. Have signed contracts on another deal, man. We're just hauling them up. It's
That's
crazy.
good.
Yeah,
That is
you know,
good.
we have a deal in contract. I thought it would never happen. You know, it was about to expire. Broker came back, said, "My client's interested." We put the deal together. Now it's amazing. Love it.
Nice.
You know, when you think you're gonna have an expired listing,
I love
and
that.
it's not. I love that.
I love the fact that even when you have old clients who all of a sudden reaching out saying that they need these certain properties or they want to list their homes all of a sudden. I just had a closing this last, the beginning of the week, which was amazing.
Let's talk about
so
that.
looking forward to that, see if I can start a campaign on that.
What?
So, I mean, look, with all this great hype of information, all this great hype of closings and things that we're doing, there's always, like a roller coaster, I'm sure there's always that moment when our motivation goes down, right?
Yeah,
there's that moment.
I actually had that moment this week that happened. It's not that my
No
motivation
way.
level went down, but it's funny. I'll tell you this. It is a crazy story. I don't know what's going on in the lending firm.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is happening and this can't be the first time. So I got a phone. I reached out to one of the buyers that are in contract for one of our listings. I get the heads up that they're going through a Sony Ma program.
Yeah.
They never told us that they were going through a Sony Ma program. As a matter of fact, when we presented the offer, it was a conventional loan, and we presented it as a conventional loan.
Yeah.
Went through. No one said anything about Sony Ma. You know what I mean? Nothing against it. Phenomenal program, but no one said anything, right?
Yeah, because it takes longer to close, right?
100%. It takes
that's not
4
fair
to
to
6
the
months.
sellers. Yeah.
And the property was occupied. They actually were able to get the tenants out. Their lease was up at the end of this month, so contracts were set up for the end of the month. Buyer states that he actually told them not to go through the Sony Ma program, that he qualified without it to go ahead and put down payment.
They have to sign a whole bunch of stuff. Are you
I
serious?
know they do. So he had told me that he did. He filled out a bunch of paperwork, but he was telling him that, listen, like he, he's in, like he doesn't want that. And I told him, right?
Wow.
I told him about that. Man, that went upside down. I actually got into a verbal
altercation
with the lender. Yeah, not good at all. So that was that call. And then shortly after, I get a call from another one that I'm in contract with, the co-op in East Elmhurst. So she tells me that their buyer is in the Sony Ma program. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're in the Sony Ma program. You never told me that they were going in the Sony Ma program.
So before you continue with the Sony Ma, for those who don't know, again, it is State of New York. All right, State of New York Mortgage Agency. All right, they're pretty much a program that helps out with folks who are, pretty good in credits, but at the same time, they do give you a sort of like down payment assistance program, which allows you to actually, buy homes, whether it's a co-op or a condo or a house, but in certain areas, in certain pretty much
and I think
a
it
list of
follows
things.
the census tract as well. There is an income limit.
There is
So there's a certain thing that they actually, there's like a certain requirements that they need So a lot of mortgage lenders know about it. Some will
Mm.
offer, some won't. But
Yeah.
Right.
the reason for it is because you just said it. It takes a long time and it's a lot of
Yeah. Hey,
paperwork.
look, 4 to
You know.
6 months. If you're buying
Right.
a house,
If you
4 to 6 months in
know
today's
ahead,
market,
yeah.
Right.
But exactly my point.
If you know
If I know
ahead, you
ahead
can
of
deal
time,
with
it's
it.
different.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Right.
if we know
Right.
this
Right.
ahead
Right.
of
I've
time,
worked with those. Yeah, yeah.
you
If
know
you
this
know
it's
ahead,
not a
yeah.
problem. But my issue was no one said anything about that. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? And I'm like, what do you mean they're in the Sony Mod program? Like, you never told me that.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't present that as an offer. So that
I
was
know.
twice. That was twice. I was like, bing bong, right in the face. And I'm just like,
Just
I'm
to tell
stunned.
everyone, yeah. So those are those weeks, and sometimes you can
Oh,
even go
man.
into a funk. It could last several
No
weeks.
time for funks. It's true.
No, but
Yeah.
it
There's
happens.
either you fall into, and that's what we wanted to talk
Yeah.
about today. So either you're gonna fall into that little loophole where you're
Yeah.
just gonna
Yeah.
get down on yourself, or you're gonna figure out a way to create motivation out of this. All right.
Right.
So another sort of metaphor I usually look at is, when you have a flat tire in your car, one flat tire, what do? I mean, do you flatten out all four of them, or you just go out there and try to fix that one and try to get to your
I
next
like that.
You
point
stop
right away,
and
right?
you put the donut in, and then you go.
You put the donut if you can, right? Unless you have somebody
Yeah.
else do it for you. But the
That's
point
Or-
is that's the idea that you go through, right? In the sense of, when you have this low energy, low bad day, things are going the wrong way, the wall keeps hitting you, you keep getting punched by Mike Tyson and everything.
You don't want to get punched.
Right? You get
No.
knocked out. But again, you get that flat tire. What are you going to do? Are you going to go ahead, get it fixed, or just flatten out all
Or just
four
keep
of them?
on crying,
Right.
about it, and just
Exactly.
dive deeper into that depression mode. That's what you don't want to do. So today,
Exactly.
we're
We're
gonna
going to
give
talk
you-
about that and how to switch things around.
Yeah, just give you a few tips. Again, not an exact science. You can try a few. You
Yes.
can try one. You're welcome to share your tips and tricks on how to get over that little hump. All right, because it's especially in the changing market. Not everybody's able to be swift and changeable and adapt quickly.
Right.
Especially if you have deals that are not going your way in the
Mhm.
era of interest rates rising rapidly. I've seen like the mood of certain agents I'm working with. Since I'm a listing agent, their buyers are changing. We're qualified at a 3% rate. We are going into the deal, we're into contract, and now their rates are at 5%. They have to get
Wow.
pre-approved. The more
Yeah.
the buyer's agent is like holding on by the seam of his pantyhose, like, is this deal going through? And
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I would like to say that I mean, even though the seller's agent can just put it back on the market, God forbid if anything happens,
Right.
to find another buyer, it's still another headache. Like,
Right.
that's what
It
I'm
is.
going through right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
one buyer dropped, the next buyer
Yeah.
applied, and now they tell me it's a Sony Ma. And then to top it off, the only thing the client can ever do is point the finger at who? At you. You're the
Yeah.
only one. So now
Yep.
I'm the bad guy, and I look like I'm not doing my job.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So this is the stuff we got to go through. So we have to figure out a
Yeah.
way to just say, hey, you know what? I get it, but we have to kind of explain this process. Again,
Yeah.
I wasn't informed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
Right,
Let's go
right.
in with the first tip. Number one, slow down, take a break, have a cup of coffee. Just
Not coffee. You can't drink
For
coffee
me-
and take a
why
break.
not?
That's true. Good point.
Get to
You
it
gotta
all
drink some
over
tea.
again.
You might need some tea on that one, right?
Tea,
For me,
chamomile.
when reading this, I mean, the first thing that comes into mind is woosah. Take that woosah.
Yes, yeah. You're
Right?
actually the one who introduced that to me.
That's from Bad
Definitely for
Boys.
those from Bad Boys, exactly. Take
Yeah.
that woosah moment. Take the moment to just relax, just think
And rub your
back
ears.
of all the good things. Oh yeah, the ears. Forgot about that.
Yeah,
Just
rub
think
them.
back. Just try to get that energy back to you, because honestly, to waste all that
Yeah.
negative energy on things that you can't control, things you can't change.
Yeah.
It's better to try to change it with a clear mind than with a bad mind.
Yeah,
So,
go around. Get out of the office. Go around the block.
Yeah.
Clear your mind. Do a little bit of. I used to go into my car like for 20 minutes and just I don't know if it was in a meditative state, either listen to some music or
Yeah,
Yeah.
read, get out of even real estate, like look at whatever, read some stuff that I wanted to read, and just get out, change the mood.
yeah, that's
It's
all
a
you need.
good thing. That's all you need. Yeah, yeah,
I
Yeah,
mean, for nowadays with all the tech savvy and technology that's popping out, for the most part, a lot of people have these watches, right?
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
watches on their wrist. But what I like is that, like my Apple Watch, it actually get like throughout the day,
it
it'll
tells you.
alert me and say to take a
Take a
breathing
break.
exercise, right?
Yeah,
yes,
So you
yes.
hit,
very
and
good.
that's perfect because it literally alerts you. It'll just alert you at that time and say, "Hey, take a breathing exercise." You hit that bad boy, and you just focus on your breathing. You take those
Yeah,
deep breaths, right? And
Right.
if nobody has that watch, take a moment out of your day. Take some deep breaths. What they say is, if you take a deep breath and you hold it for 7 seconds, you exhale for 7 seconds. You take a deep breath for 7 seconds, and you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and you do that consistently for
yeah.
about 4 times.
Wow.
You'll be good.
So
Be good.
for me, I mean, during the beginning portion of of real estate, you
Yeah.
obviously always were like you needed to get an appointment, needed to get a contract. So it's like that mindset was so indulged in you that every phone
Yeah.
call you made felt very negative after a
Yeah.
while, right? So taking a break, taking a pivot, do something different, really helped out to change my trajectory of what I needed to get a home
Yes.
appointment.
As an older woman, I'm going to tell you what I like to do. And I do it actually on my way to appointment just to get clear the
Mm.
air. I do those stupid facial exercises. I don't even
Mm.
want to
Which
show
ones?
you.
Come on, let's do it.
Like
You
this.
mentioned it. Which one?
Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh.
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 Is that
Uh-huh.
supposed to be like the cat?
No, you know what it does? It gets rid of the goiter, right?
Oh,
It helps strengthening the,
Wow.
I didn't even
gravity
know
takes
that.
a toll,
I didn't
Do
know
you,
that either.
and
do you,
it helps strengthen. You see
hey,
that?
the eyeballs too?
You
Eyeballs?
could, yeah. I have eyeballs, so exercising.
Uh,
But you know what it does?
okay.
It's just like you hold so much tension in your face. So again,
Yeah, that's
breathing and
true.
just relaxing those muscles, grabbing your knuckles, and even
Mm,
like rubbing those. I
Mm.
used to, I still do. I tense a lot of my shoulders. At the end of the day, I have this bald thing. So throughout the day, if you could correct your posture,
yeah.
breathe deep, you're all
Hmm.
good, all set. Do
Cool.
whatever it
Yeah.
takes, man. Just take a little break,
Yeah.
right? And
That's good.
then, so this one is a little bit more serious, but not that serious. Identify and solve your most pressing problems.
So this is good. You know
Right.
why? Because you just finished going through your Zen mode. You just finished doing your breathing exercises, walking around the block, doing that facial
Hmm.
exercise that Gigi was doing.
Hmm.
And now you can come back to it and just take a deep breath and say, all right, cool. What is it that we got to figure out? Right?
But sometimes it's not even business. Sometimes it
It
could
could be
be
personal.
personal, and sometimes it
Yeah.
could be peripheral. I'm not saying I'm not going to talk deep into our personal
Peripheral.
and intimate. Yes, but
Peripheral.
sometimes you have
Peripheral.
coworkers, friends that could also bring that negative energy and bring you down. They drain you. Like they
Mm,
have some demands or stuff like that. Things communication is cut
yeah.
off, and you get sucked into this negative energy and you don't
Like a
realize.
vortex.
Right. So you need to. It could be anything, like something you put up. Like I did my taxes the last day on Monday at 10 o'clock at night
Mm,
Wow.
because I put it on the schedule when I came back from vacation from Puerto Rico, and then something I put it on my schedule, but did not. It was on my personal schedule. I didn't put it on my work schedule. So then we had appointments that were scheduled over that time. I'm like, it's okay, I'll do it. And then this and that, I'll go another day, I'll do it. It never happened. And I'm like trying to, we're getting appointments after appointments, sellers appointments. I cannot go. I go last Friday and it's, what is it? Passover. My accountant is like, he's outside smoking a cigarette. He's like, dude, I just need to just celebrate Passover with my family. I'm like, no problem. I'll come on Monday, 10 o'clock. And I'm like, this kept me up.
Wow.
the whole week last week. And you know how this is nagging? This is gonna actually affect your daily performance, right? Because you're like having this in the back of your mind.
Yep. It's
So
true.
Yeah.
identify, definitely identify, and the
Well, the good
most
thing
pressing
about the
problem. Yeah,
most, I think the most important portion, at least for me, is the most pressing problem.
right.
Every problem, there's going to be a lot of problems out there. We're always going to run into even being a psychological person, or somebody's needing a showing, or somebody's going to need this, and it's like after a while, you'll have to actually really identify which is your top, most easiest thing to take care of and take care of right away. Because most people, I mean, I feel like when you have, in our case, we'll have agents call us and it's like, oh my God, I need help, I need help, I need help. And it's like, whoa, wait, relax.
I
What you
know.
need
Yeah.
help is just this. It's like,
Everything is a fire.
right. So once you identify how deep or how big of the fire is, in this case, we're using that, you'll be fine. I mean, you just have to really control, stop, relax, check it out,
Yeah.
see how big it is, and then move forward.
Yeah, yeah.
So
All right. Oh, that's a good one. That was probably the most difficult thing for me. Divide and conquer your schedule. Being a high I and D, I just do things spur of the moment, and it's the worst thing when it comes to getting boggled down and having things pull you down and drain you. Is when your schedule is really not a schedule, and you
Yeah.
just add stuff, and it's like it's all over the place. So it took me, no lying, it took me a few years to be establishing a schedule and sticking to it.
Hmm.
And
it's going to
it's
take a
like,
lot of people doing that.
of course,
Yeah.
of
It's a
course.
it's a
And
difficult trait.
Hmm.
prioritize what's important. What do I do first? What do I have to stick to during the day?
Hmm.
What even during the year? What do I do not say no to?
Hmm.
Right?
The best way to actually figure that out is auditing your business. Where did I waste most of my time? Where did I put
Right.
most of my efforts in? You're right. In the sense that was this a productive portion of my time, or was this a non-productive portion of my
Right.
time? Some people, again, they may see it was a productive portion of their time, like creating a flyer, and it took them 5 hours to do so.
Hmm.
That's
That
not
is
productive, right?
non-productive. Yeah.
Even though what you're going to do with the flyer will be productive,
Yeah.
but just creating the flyer may not have been productive.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of our coaches, they'll always say you need to time block what prospecting, right? You always need to time block that kind of prospecting, whether it's in the
Right.
morning or in the night.
Yeah.
And there's agents out there that won't do it. I mean, I do it sometimes, and it's like when I see myself not going into the schedule that I wrote myself out for, I'm like, man,
Hmm.
I messed up.
Right. And
It's like,
let's go back to also what we all three of us were teaching earlier this year or late last year about when we did our business planning. We always discuss the yearly calendar and block
absolutely.
out some time. Like you have to have some time that is already blocked off, and it's like, okay, those are the holidays. We're not gonna go against that. This is my wife's birthday. This is my birthday. This is the
Yeah.
vacation. This is the weekend in upstate. This and that. So it's like you have like make sure you stick to that.
Yeah.
Like plan around it. It's workable. Some things like dedicate sometimes to prospecting, to things that are super productive. We've been teaching that. Work
Yes,
on
we have.
it. Like do your yearly plan, your monthly one, your weekly one, and then your daily, and
Mm.
adjust. Do not like just have it on your calendar and let it sit there. It's a breathing, living
Organism.
document, right? It's an
Yeah,
organism, definitely, and it's super important, right?
100%.
absolutely.
The next one is make time for relaxation and fun.
You have to.
You have to. I mean,
You don't want to
uh,
burn out. Listen, I've seen people that have worked two jobs. They've worked
yeah,
7 days a week, and
yeah,
it's hard labor. It's not like it's, like
like
nowadays,
us.
forget it.
Yeah,
Everybody's like, oh, I can find a job online, virtually, work from home. I work from my
yeah.
desk.
But even then,
Yeah.
that's
Even
still
that is
a lot.
stressful. Yeah,
No, of
Yeah.
course that is. I'm just saying that there's people that were physically going out there, no days
yeah,
off, working
yeah,
hard. But look, that takes a toll on your body for those folks, right? So the same thing if you're sitting in front of a computer all day long, same concept. It takes a toll on your brain. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
you got to make time for it. Make
So
times.
I've never done it, and I've seen my uncle who passed,
Mm,
he was about 100 years old,
wow.
and this man took a nap every afternoon, every day of his life.
Wow. All right.
Even if
I need to
it's
do
less than an
that.
hour, even if it's like half an
Like a
hour, 40
siesta.
minutes. A siesta, yeah. I mean, they're in France, so it helps.
Well,
You know,
well,
they have a 2-3 hour lunch break.
if
So
you think
that,
about
but
it,
it's, and you know what? And this guy, first of all, being in the medical profession, being a physician himself,
mm,
smoked and drank,
Mm.
but not saying excessively, but
oh,
um,
what did
but
he smoke?
the fact the fact that there was that scheduled nap time,
Nice.
Right. Right.
and if I'm thinking of all my relatives that had this long ride of life, they did
Take
take
naps.
take the relaxation time very very seriously.
You should.
You know,
I
like
mean,
that
look,
regenerative thing, and you
like
should
all
be
those
able.
major companies like Google, Workspaces, all these major like tech companies and whatnot, they have these rooms, these pods, these like
Hmm.
noise cancellation pods where you
Oh,
can
that
go
would
in
be
there and
so
take a
great.
nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, So why not you? Just because you're in real estate, just because you're out driving, showing appointments and all that stuff, you could take a moment.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
And book out your vacation. It's okay. You need that moment to get away at
And
times.
you know what?
You
You're
know what?
looking forward to it
Hmm.
once
Even
you
going to a
schedule it.
networking, yeah, and it's true because again, there's ways to actually still have work and still have fun, right? So, and the best answer for that is networking. When you go to these networking parties, happy hours, bowling, whatever they have, the galas, this is you having fun, but at the same time, you're networking and building your business. That's another great way of looking at
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
You
I
know.
would I would skip the whole real estate thing. Just go to an art
Okay.
gallery. It's like,
Got it.
I
Got
mean,
it.
yeah, I need
yeah,
to put you
Got it.
on.
yeah, the
Got
networks
it.
are cool, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. You kind of get to a point where you're just like, you know what? I need to get out of here. Crazy
Yeah, I
man.
think this is it. Yeah, it's great, but
Yeah,
bye, ciao, see you later. You know,
Yeah.
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Like I'm
And
looking forward to going up to Connecticut. You know what I mean?
oh,
And
in
just kind
your
of
little
relaxing by the river.
vacation,
Yeah.
You
exactly.
know what I mean? And just
Yeah,
kind of like disconnecting, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. Guys, I posted 2 weeks, 14 days vacation,
Oh
and
yeah, I
I'm
remember
Nice.
already
that.
I'm already looking forward to it.
There
Listen,
You
you
know,
go.
that is awesome. I remember when I took my trip, man, I was gone for 17 days. That was the longest vacation I've ever taken in my life. And it
Mm.
really?
felt amazing. Yeah, for me,
Yeah,
I mean, come on, we're talking about America. These people work 40 hours a week. They have 2 vacation weeks a year. Come on.
yeah,
I know Europeans, they go on
yeah,
vacation all the time. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You guys are chill,
Oh
but
my
us,
gosh.
But
we're like a
I'm like,
workhorse.
I was thinking, I'm like, why miss August on the French Riviera? Why?
Mm.
No, it's
I
my
want to go
brother's
to the.
birthday. He wants to do
When's
hang
his birthday?
gliding. August 15th. Just run.
What? The day
I know.
after mine.
Yeah, it's the day after
Oh,
yours.
I want to go hang
And
That's
gliding.
awesome.
he wants, like, we want to go hang glide, go over the cliffs and shh. He
Yeah.
just needs to lose a little bit of weight because there is
Okay.
a weight limit.
Yeah,
He's a
that's
big
true.
guy, he's big like a
Yeah.
football player. So,
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah, I hope we can do it. I'm scared, but I'm game.
I would
There
so
you
do
go.
that.
Yeah.
When are you guys doing it? We might just
I
book
don't
a
know.
trip.
First of all, I need to make sure that weight of his goes because I'm not going by myself. I'm not doing it by myself.
True.
I'm gonna go do it.
True.
Huh?
I want to
I'm
do it.
terrified. I'll do it, but
And
I'm terrified.
that's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
Next one. Those are kind of good, like those. Let's talk about leaning on the experts. And when we say that, we are talking about all the resources that you have access to. Those inspirational books. We're going to mention one TED talk that actually was super instrumental in my development as a person. And inspirational quote, anything that feeds your mind, feeds your soul. I
Mhm.
think that you need to get into that. It doesn't have to be always self-help and power. Sometimes you just need to be cathartic and spiritual. I believe in that, like you need to mix both, like that business life and that more into inner self. What do you think, Israel? Because you're into
Yeah, I
that a
agree.
lot.
Yeah, I'm into it too. I mean, hearing TED Talks, hearing, like leaning to other experts, again, like they've been through either they've been through the system in a different way, or they've been through the system the way you're going through it right now, and but at a much higher level, right? So to
Hmm.
even hear what they've gone through, what they're going through, and just really, taking notes of
Mm.
things you can do to improve, things you can do to maybe change, because it may only take one little tweak to
Yeah.
change what you need to do.
Yeah.
You're doing something every day, then just that little tweak could
Hmm.
change whatever you need to do to make it a more better successful business. So yeah, I think that's an excellent thing to do as far as leaning on experts, whether you know who they are or you don't.
Right.
But you follow them enough to understand exactly what they're talking about. It's a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on this, we just compiled book recommendations from Israel. Those are audio books that he has. I actually just ordered The Code of the Extraordinary Mind because after I read the reviews and the synopsis on them, I'm like, wow, this is something I
Yeah.
didn't know about, and I
This
would I
is
would get into it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's an amazing book. I'm actually rehearing it. So I actually don't, not that I don't like to read, but
yeah,
because of busy times, sometimes I prefer hearing it versus reading it.
yeah,
But I do have other books here that I do have in my library. However,
yeah,
just hearing it from the experts, hearing what they
Mm.
say,
yeah,
adding their little additives sometimes in these books is an amazing thing. Code of the Extraordinary Mind is an amazing book to go with. Shen actually does a TED Talk as well, and he actually does provide a lot of inspiration when it comes to
yeah.
reading his book.
Here, so Marion is
Ex-
asking Gigi. Let's go with Israel. A lot of things inspired me. I was seldom. I mean, few times I've read the four agreements, which
oh, that's a
was
good one too.
a good one to just for on
Yeah, that's a
personal
good one.
life. Absolutely fantastic. I like to revisit that.
Hmm.
Um, Uncertainly enough, sometimes I just go into historical novels to just get my mind off
Right.
and drawing from history. And this is kind of weird, but it's okay. Like drawing from history
Okay.
could be inspirational in the not what not to do,
Right.
where we are and where we're going,
Mm.
and and basically also taking ideas from big generals. I like those like semi-political biographies as well. They sort of inspire me in a sense of seeing the power of the people, or like those. I like some. I'll take anything inspirational from anyone. One thing I have to say, I was trying to get some inspiration from Virginia Woolf, known feminist English writer.
Mm.
Not for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I do read a lot, and I like books. I like the smell of books. I like the pages. I like to
There
turn
you
it. I
go.
like to look at the font. I like to, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I like the books. I
Having
have a
books
lot.
is a good thing. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, it's there's those moments where even having a
yeah,
book, as you said, it's a really good thing. If you're able to sit down, relax, a couple of hours, a couple of minutes.
yeah. Oh, in the
Um,
middle of Can't Hurt Me. Is that a book?
oh,
I don't
amazing
know. It's a
book.
good. It's a good book.
David Goggins.
Hmm.
Amazing book.
All
Forty
right.
percent. It's again, you're talking about a guy who, we're talking about tests of being a Navy SEAL, going
Oh
through it twice.
yeah.
Having to
Yes.
go through the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Again twice. It's doing the ultra, not the triathlete, but the ultra marathon. So that
Yeah.
it's almost like a four
Let me
part
just show that.
run.
Yes. So that's a good one.
Again, he
Yeah.
is amazing. For me, honestly, David Goggins is one of those that I definitely have read, and and also do have the audio. Reason why I like listening to that one is because he does have a commentary towards every chapter, so you get to hear what his thought process was when he hears it. So it's really good motivation on that end. Oh yeah, absolutely, Savannah. I completely
I
agree.
like this also, this small book, like Make Your Bed. It's very much of a mindset also by an army general. How you set up your day, like you start your day by making your bed, and this is something that was
Absolutely.
instilled in me as a child. Culturally, you cannot even leave the house without having your bed made. You're not going to lay
Absolutely.
in a bed that is a mess. That's going to be a symbol of basically what your life reflects, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
how you like this
You-
whole mindset thing was a pretty good little book.
I remember
know?
when I first heard that whole like making your bed and all that, because
Yeah.
and it's funny, once I heard it, I started doing it nonstop.
Me
I
too.
had to
Oh
do
yeah,
it
you too,
every
right?
single time, every single
I
time.
heard it on Facebook
And
one time. Yeah.
yeah, funny.
Not one day of my life. I couldn't leave my house without having my bed made as a child.
Yeah, but
There
you
are
know what's
things
crazy?
like, yeah.
No matter what happens, and he said it too. No matter
Yeah.
what happens, you come back and that bed just hugs you, and you're just like,
Oh
and
yeah.
you go to sleep, man. You're very relaxed.
It's
And
your bedroom is your sanctuary, and I think you
Mhm.
should give it a respect. Yeah, I had my moments as a teenager when my bedroom was a pigsty, but it was really quickly turned around and taken. Like, this is my little sanctuary. I need to have things. Everything has to be right. My bed
Yeah.
spread, the little
Absolutely.
chair, the stuff, the dresser, my little things, everything. This is my thing, and it has to be set up right so I can think right.
Yeah.
And then let's go over that TED talk. That is, I came across like a few years, and I think we had
Oh,
it at
grit.
one of
Yeah.
at the meetings when we were with our former franchise. This lady, I think she has a funny name like Duckworth or something like this, just like
Right.
our song at the beginning.
Right.
And
Right.
Angela Duckworth, I think, and it's about grit, the
Mm-hmm.
power of passion and perseverance. Like when you say the word grit, it's hard to, that's a concept to me as a foreign person that was really hard to really grasp the meaning of it. It's like I heard the word, you're using it like somewhat badly, but once I
Yes.
saw that video, and it just like unlocked a lot of things, and I again like to go back at it.
Mm.
I watched a few TED talks with Tony Robbins as well, always super
Yes.
inspirational.
Yes.
Have you
Very inspirational.
guys ever read the book Outwitting the Devil?
No.
No.
It's
No.
by Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Okay.
But that one is I know it just kind of got a little dark, but not like
No.
that.
I mean,
No, no,
it's
no.
no. I mean, I'm
It's
just trying to think
Yeah.
about it.
it's interesting because the way he wrote the book it was more like a dialogue between
I'm gonna add
him
this one here.
interviewing. It was between him interviewing the devil. But all it really is that as he goes through it, it's almost like he's having this conversation
Yeah.
basically with himself, but it's just like that darker side of him, that the person that's always negative, that person that's always looking down on
Right.
things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So very interesting book, but that
So,
Yeah.
also
and being
helps you
that you
switch
said
it
that,
up.
there's another book that I've actually read. I mean, it's makes me think a bit. It's Taming Your
Yeah.
Gremlin.
Tammy your gremlin.
That's
The
an
Gremlins,
amazing
like
book.
the
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
we always have the angel and devil kind of situation, and it always becomes that little doubtful situation too.
Yeah.
So Taming
Yeah.
Your Gremlin is a great way to actually
And
psychologically.
do you want to put in the comments the name of that book by Napoleon Hill?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yes.
so Marilyn can have it. And now there
Yeah.
are a few. I think it's I also like to watch. There is this rabbi that I can't even put his. I don't. I never remember his name, but I have it saved on my playlist on YouTube. There is this rabbi that has a lot of analogy, and he's big on YouTube, and he's always having those little talks about life and things. And he's not necessarily religious. It's a lot of
Right.
facts of things, but super inspirational. And I do like to come back to it. He's the guy who's been deconstructing stress as giving the example of the lobster. like stress is a good thing because it means like if you that shell of yours, like you're so
Yeah.
compressed because that shell is too tight, it's just gonna crack, and that's what stress is. So it helps you
Yeah.
grow. I thought it was, listening to this, like in moments where like you're a little bit down, it's like, okay, stress is good. Let's use it as, let's think of it as I'm at the threshold of growth. I just need to take
Mm-hmm.
the jump, so
Right.
yeah. So
No, it's true.
find your seeds of inspirations
Yeah.
everywhere. They are. There's so many.
Especially
Yeah.
there are so many, and I just want to really end it, at least on my end, in the sense that during the beginning of COVID, we all went through that downshift. We always went like, what to do next kind of situation. And some of these books here, I mean, the ones I have written down, I have so many other ones, but these
Mm.
particular ones
Yeah.
helped me through the process. I mean, exactly what to say was one of those. It changed my language a bit with the NLP version of the way I speak now, or the way I actually ask questions. So it's
Good.
actually a very good book to go with.
Good. I still don't speak English. Maybe I need to get that.
Don't worry, hey, the author is actually he's British, so you don't even
Okay.
have to worry about that.
There you
Okay.
go. It's a little closer to home, right?
Yeah.
Anthony and Polly Hill. I read.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
know.
no.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
that one's good too. That one's
Think
really
and
good.
Grow Rich. Let me tell you a funny story about that one.
Oh, I
Think
just
and Grow.
move on to the next
No,
slide.
it's
But
it's
go
just
ahead.
real
Yeah.
funny, real funny story. I actually picked up the book and I remember hearing that like if you're gonna get to a point that if a book is overwhelming for you, you're gonna naturally put it down.
Yeah.
That was the
Yes.
first book that I was going through maybe 40 pages, 50 pages in, and I had to put it down because it was way too much for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm,
later on in life, I went through the book. Really good book though. Really good
yeah.
book.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, again, I get a little bit sick and tired of hearing Think and Grow Rich. I think maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Like you need a
Well,
change of pace if you've
yeah.
been
Well,
over it a few times.
You
But
got
well,
yeah,
I mean,
Rich Dad Poor Dad's the same thing.
yeah,
You hear all
yeah,
these really good ones. Zig Ziglar one as
yeah,
well. He has
yeah,
another
we
yeah.
Bible
can
There are
worth
we can
of
go
so
on
many
for days.
books.
We can go on for days.
We can
But
yeah.
probably
this is
there
good because
is
now we're being receptive to new ideas.
yes. So
All
be
Hey.
right.
receptive to new ideas. Like what? Like what kind of new ideas are we talking about? I said same thing with growth and mindset and also
Sorry, Marilyn.
seeing.
Sorry,
Go
Gigi. I
ahead.
put the name of the book in the
The
comments,
comments.
but it came up as Gigi put it up. So I don't know
It's
if you
great.
can
Uh,
It's
see
okay.
it there,
It's no, yeah, because I don't know.
but
It doesn't matter.
I'll put it up
you
again.
know,
I'll
I
put it up
I
again.
find just to go on to this topic real quick. We train a lot of agents, newer, older, whatever. And for those who are like the old those new tricks kind of situation, or the new ones feel like they have a better plan, but they always don't end up with a great result, and you're trying to give them a new
Mm-hmm.
idea. I always end up with these. Sometimes I tend to end up with agents with a glass eye situation. It's like I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Oh,
give you a newer idea to what to do. So this is a really good point because honestly, not everybody does everything the same.
Hmm.
But when you hear a good idea, try it out. Do an A/B test on it and see if it works for you.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think it's easy to hit in the funk. It's easy to hit a funk when you keep on doing the same thing over and over, and if and you keep repeating it, knowing that it might not even work, it's
Yeah.
pretty insane. So yes, we have new technology. I think you need to embrace new technology, new ideas, new
Absolutely.
ways of doing things. And again, I'm
Absolutely.
talking as an old lady right here. For
Mm.
the old people, get on with that technology thing. Open up your mind. It is user friendly.
Yeah.
And this is
I
what I'm
don't believe in the
seeing.
saying that says you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I think you
I
And
can
yes,
always
you
I
learn
can.
agree.
something new.
You can. It's like like for
If they're
me,
open to it.
my
Yeah.
biggest fear in life is to be left behind.
Hmm.
As I I've seen my mother never using a cell phone. I love my mother to death, but I don't
Hmm.
want to be there. I want to keep going on with the times.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I want to know
So,
who Kanye's new girlfriend is. And not that
oh
it's really super
jeez.
interesting, but you understand? At least I don't want to be left behind and go,
Oh
who? What?
jeez.
No, just an example. This is
Yeah,
just
I
an
gotcha.
example. It's not about the gossipy thing. It's just about
No.
like staying with the time, knowing who is who, knowing what to do. Like using the latest technology and gadgets that helps our
Hmm.
life, and now everybody else is using. And hold on, I'm
Well,
going to tell this seller
a
I'm going to call
perfect
her later. Yeah.
a perfect example to that, I mean, was again using COVID as one of those examples. You couldn't do open houses, so what's the other way you could have done it?
Oh, you did
A
great. You
virtual
did,
open house,
yeah,
right?
virtual open
So you
house.
do it something different. You pivot
Yeah.
to a different way, different ideas to
Yeah.
actually try to drum more, more leads, more business to yourself. So these are little things that occur. I mean, honestly, something I thought you were going to say, Gigi, is, when you're stubborn about not wanting to change and not receiving new ideas, and you're just like focused on just staying there, thinking that every time you do that
Stubborn.
same thing is
You're
going to work.
stubborn. I think it's
Well, it's not only
stubbornness.
that; it's that definition of insanity, right? Always doing
Right.
something over and over again, hoping that it changes,
No.
and it never
Mhm.
does. So,
Right.
change, being receptive to new ideas works, and it works a lot.
I know
So,
we're creatures of habit, and it's very changes are not always welcome. For
right,
survival, we don't
right,
want change. It's like something that is anchored and DNA written in us, and
right.
so change is always the enemy. But no, I mean, open up your mind. It's like, see, I just, even like little stuff, I'm like, I was wondering, even a couple of days ago, I've seen these agents that are fairly new in the business, that are part of the honey badger teams and stuff, and that are getting some business from YouTube. Believe it or not, I have no idea
YouTube.
what they're doing. And I'm like, all three of us are doing this weekly. We should be able to bank on that. We haven't.
Absolutely, we
So, and
will.
I'm like,
Who do I
we
have to
will.
charge?
But it's
Who do I have
like,
to charge?
but I'm like, we have this great vehicle, and I think we can utilize it to where I don't know what we need to do. I don't know what needs to switch. I will be studying that a little bit. I think
Oh yeah,
there is a way where it doesn't mean we're going to be making people pay for whatever, but we should be able to get referrals.
Not
We should
people.
be able,
Yeah.
huh?
It wouldn't be so much the people. I would say it was just like I don't. Again another topic to jump into, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it would just be like, because of the fact that we have so many subscribers, so many people watching. There's other companies that will be able to kind of pay for the
Exactly. I
costs or
mean,
whatnot.
there is something we can do,
They're
and
gonna
I
want to
think
advertise.
we've been doing this long enough where we can take it to a different level, and then a lot of people can enjoy it and take our 2 cents and use it.
right, right.
Why not?
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Perceptive to new ideas. Next is, why is that slide not working?
Because
Interesting.
that's the part that we remove the slide.
Oh,
Oh,
level
there it
coming
up
up.
with
There
it.
it
It
is.
works. Level up with a checklist. Again, that goes hand in hand with your with timing, with scheduling, right?
Yeah.
And basically having a list that you
Like a to-do
basically
list. You should have like a
Yeah.
to-do list on a daily basis, right? So you complete your task for today's Friday, right?
Yeah.
This is my to-do list. This is what I have to go through. This is how I have to go in and attack this plan. And like
Yeah.
Gigi said, try to squeeze in some time for prospecting. That way you're building the business, right?
Yeah.
Outside of that, put out whatever fires you need to put out and check it. If you start this early in the day, too many people have the misconception of, I'm not going to call somebody at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, you can.
I'm going to wait till 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock hits. I'm not going to call them at 12. I'm going to call them after work when they get out of work. If
And
you
they
wait
don't
all
want to talk to
day,
you.
yeah, they're going to be mad with the day already. That's the first point. But think about it. If you can get all of that out by 12 p.m. in your day, technically speaking, you're done, right?
Yeah.
Now you have the opportunity to go ahead and go out to showings, plan open houses, set up your marketing for Instagram, YouTube, whatever the case might be, put
Yeah.
out some stories. You know what I mean? That's where you now have that ability. But I'm
Mhm.
telling you, I've actually had more people receptive to my calls and conversations at 8 a.m. than at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
So there is this app that I don't use enough, and that is brilliant for checklist. Trello. Trello is great because you
Trello.
just put Trello. Yeah.
Mm.
Trello is like a little board thing with these
I know
moving
Trello,
parts
yeah.
that you can
It's not
move
so bad.
and give priority to. I like my reminders on my Google Calendar. I do like that. So that's my little checklist. at home, same as I put probably more post-its at home than I would do in the office. It's kind of crazy, but I do like that. I like
Yeah.
some little reminders. I still need to be more organized when it comes to my checklist, so I can prioritize even better and make better use of my time. But
Mm,
it's the to-do lists are definitely, it's the same as your time schedule. What's
yeah.
Hmm.
important, you
So,
put that
so
in your
like,
to-do list. Yeah,
Savannah said it. Savannah said she did it, right? Same thing. It just happens. It's natural, right? You're just going through your
yeah,
day. 5 o'clock rolls around, and you subconsciously, you're like, everybody gets out of work at 5. I don't want to
Right.
call right now. Like I'm
yeah,
off the clock. That's how we all
Right.
think. But you just
yeah,
got to think beyond that. If you get it
yeah,
out of the way at the beginning part of the day, you'll be good. See, Savannah said
yeah.
it. Never end up calling. So it happens. It
Actually,
It
happens.
does
you know
happen.
what? The
It
thing
does
is,
happen a
just
lot.
do it. Just do it. I've seen people like, I'm gonna get to call next week. Why next week?
Yeah,
You have plenty of free time right now because you're telling me you're
it's
ready to
true.
call. So
It's
let's
true.
go now.
I mean, to me,
Yeah,
it becomes that point of like if you're doubting yourself that you're going to call, just try to do it as a no doubting day. It's like pretty much treat it as, try to figure out what's the worst that's going to happen, what's most likely going to happen, and what's the best that's going to happen out of that entire doubt that you're actually going for. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tap into your creativity. So can I give them a little bit of what is it? A motivational talk right here.
okay, go ahead. Take the
Anything?
soapbox.
So real quick on it, I'm gonna just give you guys some motivation. So tap into your creativity, right? What does that mean? You're sitting there asking yourself, I'm not creative. Stop telling yourself that. All right. Every single one of you that are watching, everybody out there in this world is unique in your own way. Everybody
Right.
loves to watch real life TV shows. Well, guess what? Now, with all the social media platforms, you can be your own real life TV show. You might sit there and say, I don't think they're going to want to watch what I'm doing. Bull crap. You might not want to watch what you're doing because you do it every
True.
day. It's you. You're going to look at yourself subconsciously and say, you know what? I'm not worthy enough to be putting out these cool ass videos on Instagram or Facebook or whatever the case might be, right? It's okay. Just start doing it little by little clip here, little clip there. Do it on a daily basis. You're going to get better at it. And next thing you know, you're going to be banging them out like it's like there's no tomorrow. It's going to be
I,
easy for you.
I mean, you could do your thing on your geared towards business, or you could again just to get away from things, do stuff that you. I took this segment like a little bit further than okay. Let me work on my logo. Let me work
For
on
sure.
my Instagram posts and all this. It's like no, maybe I should be able to take a paintbrush. I have this huge canvas that has been looking at me for years and some acrylic paint. Let's take it, let's just do it, like
Do
instead
it.
of going over all this business stuff in the evening, let's
Mm,
work on a project that has nothing to do with business and just makes me feel really happy.
you should.
Well, the good thing about that is that if you do tap into something that's outside of business, there's other people that want to do it as well.
Right. And then
So,
sometimes you just want to keep it for yourself. Like a couple of years ago, I made scarves for everybody. I use anytime, like revisited, and I'm not a really like a Susie homemaker, right? So
okay.
I revisited different. My mother used to knit, and I was like, again, because of pandemic, what if this whole world falls apart? We should be able to use some skills to survive. So I'm like, oh, let me
Absolutely.
pick up those knitting things and just start again and starts like new stitches. Because you never know. And I'm like,
Right.
girl, I still can do it. It's good. I'm good. So
Yeah.
everybody has scarves. And I'm like, yeah, why not? I mean, why you never know. You might need those
Never
skills,
know.
but
That's absolutely true.
I felt like let me brush on that a little bit, have fun. Everybody in the family is gonna get a scarf, just made just for them. Doesn't look like the next one, different stitch. I'm relearning my stitches, and that's it. That's it. That's something I did a couple
Yeah.
of years ago. Yeah.
Cool.
That's why
That's
not?
awesome.
Yeah. But tap into that creative side, like see other stuff, and I think it's good for the soul. And all right, consider taking a course with actionable content.
Yeah.
All right. You could take a certification. right?
You could. Absolutely.
You could. I actually, during pandemic, I took something that had nothing, and you guys know that had nothing to do with real estate. But you know how good, like it sort of recenters yourself. It's not that you forget about real estate, because real estate is not me, it's what I do,
Right.
right? And you could, if you gear towards improving your business, yes, take a certification, take a what you call that, take one of those mini classes that we offer at our brokerage. We have a lot of those. Sign up for coaching. They'll kick your butt, they'll make you do stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's,
Absolutely.
yeah, or find an accountability partner. Those are actionable things, content that you could
Mhm.
do. Get up in the morning and do role play. Set it up with a group of role play, other agents, and do that. And
Yeah.
work on. I don't know. There are so many things you guys can do to just get out of that funk. Do
Yeah.
something. That's the whole point, is to do something. It's like,
Yeah.
what is that? Like physio. What is the term? Physio something. It's just like the mind and the body, and once it's in action, the whole thing shifts. Kinetic, kinesthetic,
Um,
whatever it
could we
is.
just call it a shift?
Yes.
It's just so. With
Let's
that
not
being
go
said,
scientific there.
no,
Yeah.
no, I agree with that. Honestly,
Yeah.
taking a course with actionable content is obviously this a good thing to do. Whether you're in real estate and you want to continue doing, I mean, during our COVID again, we actually had a couple of classes or see.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple of certifications they were giving out
Yeah.
for free, whatever. And
Yeah.
look, I took them.
I
Did
took
I need
them
them?
too. No,
I didn't need them, but I took them.
I
But
did. I did too.
but I did take other classes to help out with posting. I did take other classes to, do other things like cooking wise as well. I took a couple of classes on those. Took different things that were either part of my world that I'm working in or world that I love to be in.
Exactly. That's what
So
I'm saying. Yes.
yeah, I had fun doing it, and it changed me as as throughout the course of the years, I guess.
Right.
So
I
Mhm.
guess, like something new, like it fills you up, it brings you joy, it brings you peace of mind, it helps you recenter yourself. And again, it's going to help you with your business. And
absolutely,
you have to take care of yourself. So when you're in your
absolutely,
funk, it's like, okay, what's the deal here? It's like, okay. And there is nothing wrong about, just thinking of yourself, because who else is going to think of you anyway?
Mhm.
So it's you first, and your health, your mental health. Definitely. Let's start
right,
with that, your physical health as well. Right?
yeah, that's
Very, very
awesome.
simple.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the next one?
I don't know. I think we're good.
We're good. Actually, I think that we did miss one. I mean,
Did
like
we?
setting a goal, like setting some goals for yourselves.
Oh, that's the blank slide. Do you see that's the blank slide
It's
that didn't
okay, but
show
we can
up?
just talk about it. You don't even have
Let's
to go
talk
back.
about that.
Just,
Yes.
just pretty much setting up your goals. I mean, setting up some goals for yourself so that
Oh, you
you're
were talking
not.
about the
Revisiting your
revisit
goals
your
and
goal
set
and
new
set some new
ones.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something that's important too for those
And
people.
we did, actually, it's very good because we just did this a couple of weeks ago. Israel,
Yeah.
actually, Israel, thank you for working on this fantastic spreadsheet for goal setting. And it's like a
Mhm.
workable spreadsheet, and you could either change up your goal, tweak them,
Right.
modify a little bit,
Yeah.
input all your progress, see where
Mhm.
what you're up to, and it's like that. But go back to it. I think quarterly, it's really, really a good thing to do.
Yeah. Create that why again. Create that,
Oh,
the
yes,
reason why you're
yeah,
doing this, regardless
yeah.
of what it is. If you need to readjust your why, then readjust it, but readjust it in the sense that it becomes actionable, in the sense that you truthfully are able to attain it.
Right.
Not something that it's like, I want to be the Taj Mahal and own it.
No, break
It's like,
down your financial goals, your
right.
professional goals, your personal goals, family goals, all this,
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
also, one thing that you guys used to do, Ed, in Israel, is like taking those, you had your daily goals. And I always get back to it because I thought it was absolutely brilliant. You guys
Yeah.
did this for a few months, right?
We did
Yeah.
it
I'm
for a
actually
while.
thinking about
Remember
bringing it
that?
back, to be honest with you.
I
I'm
have
actually
it right
thinking about
here.
bringing it back.
You guys had
That's one of them
that
right there.
thing going. Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
You
That's
had
the
your
updated
daily
one.
goals. And if
Yeah.
you did not make it, you had a little penalty, which was fun because it was like, what was it, like one of those
It wasn't fun.
exercise
Those
thing?
aren't penalties are not good. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's good for you, but
It was
nobody
good
Right.
for
wants to
you.
do it.
Yeah,
Right. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about bringing that back.
Let's bring it
We'll
back,
see.
Israel.
Let's
You
see how
guys
that
were.
works.
It was. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I
Yeah.
thought while you were doing this exercise, all those months of doing that, something, especially for Ed, something opened up. Remember, you were like newer in the business.
Yeah, I was
Something just clicked right then and there.
Yeah.
And that's what propelled you. And again, brilliant.
Yeah.
Just one word. Yeah.
No, it works. You put
Yeah.
it on pen, you put it on paper, you put it in front
The
of you, you look
small
at it every
Right.
day.
the baby
People look
steps.
at it, right? People ask you how far along are you with your goal, and you sitting there like, it's coming along. You know, right?
And it helps out with the person that you're doing with too, because
Yeah,
it becomes you become accountability partners no matter how you
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
To get there.
Yeah.
So
Let's
I'm
bring it
actually thinking
back.
about
Let's bring
for
some
May,
new groups.
maybe I'll do it for May. So
Good.
actually, the
Let's
only thing
do
is that we might have to we'll talk about it offline, but I've actually changed it up a little bit so that we can
There you go.
from the
let's introduce it to Real Estate Unwrap, and we all can see if we can get
We'll
put a
talk
little
about it
book
offline.
together. Why not? Yes. Okay. Yes, boss.
So,
All right, guys.
This is the moment in time where we shout out. What is it again? The most MVP,
MVP.
MVV.
The most valuable post. No,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't that. It was
No.
no, it was the
Participant?
most valuable viewer. I think it was
MVP.
I thought it was MVP. Yeah, that's what I thought
No, it
too.
wasn't.
All right.
Man, we messed it up, man. But anywho, we just want to appreciate everyone's attention that came on in comments.
Thank you,
but
thank
I
you
think
for
we're gonna
coming.
have to shout out
Yeah.
Marilyn because she came
Marilyn.
through with the comments. So we appreciate you.
Savannah. Let's not
are-
forget our little
Listen,
baby Savannah.
I've counted it up, and
Savannah.
Savannah was on. Listen, it was neck and neck, but
Yeah.
Savannah would have been
missing
next.
one.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we appreciate you all tuning in. So Marilyn,
Thank
you
you,
are
thank you.
today's MVP.
Yes.
You know what? Savannah, you're today's MVP too. Let's get it.
All right,
Everybody
guys.
wins. You all
Everybody
win.
wins.
You
all
win. All right, guys. Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you
Have a
for
great
being here.
weekend.
Thank you. See you
Enjoy.
next
Enjoy,
Friday.
folks. Enjoy. Peace. Come on, sprinkler, let's go.
I don't know what that. Oh,
Is this considered pop locking?
I don't know. What is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It's like your fingers are dancing.
Right?
Bye.
Good times.
Bye.
everybody.
Good times. Love you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Enjoy your weekend.